It's that time again. CFMoto off the grid.
Yeah, baby!
All right, so I recently purchased a CFMoto UFORCE XL1000. Put some doors on it, windshield, that kind of stuff. We want to use it for driving around our property out here in the Blue Mountains of Washington. And online, I'm seeing a whole lot of people posting that they have some potential heating on the exhaust, gets too hot in the back. I've not experienced it yet, but we've only used it a couple of times. So I ordered this heat shield kit. Comes with this full set of instructions, a roll of something here and a pad of something here. Looks like it's all written out, and they've got a whole list of all the things that you need. We're going to dig into this, and I'm going to show you how I do it, following these instructions, and see how it works. So the first thing we do is we lift the handle, raise up the tilt bed so we can expose this splash shield on the passenger side, and this will need to be removed. It looks like there's some 10mm bolts. There's also some of these little clips. See these little plastic clips? Now I use a tool like this. If you slide it under there and pop it up, that'll pop those clips out real easy without damaging them. And you could also use a little plastic spatula or pair of pliers, or just buy some new clips if you damage them. Now once that splash shield's removed, you should be able to get into these battery screws, and you loosen them up so you can remove the cables. We're going to remove this entire battery. Underneath is a couple of extra nuts, but those are 13mm, and that'll take this bracket off, and you're going to get that battery out of the way. We want to make sure we disconnect it safely so we're not causing any arcing or anything. Next on the agenda is to remove these bolts. There's one back here on this heat shield, and then one up here. Now, you can kind of reach around this corner with your socket and get that upper one, but this back one's kind of a bear, and it's easier to get from underneath. They recommend using a knuckle or something, and in my application, I found it easier just to pull off that skid shield on, and it dropped right down, and I could get to it. And good news, those were 10mm as well, so I didn't have to get up and go look for another wrench. So pull those out, and we move on to the next step, which is to install the heat shields. After opening the kit, you'll notice that there's a little dot on here. This is your heat shield indicator. So you get your upper shield is this red dot, and the lower shield is a blue dot, and then it looks like they've got some insulation. And there's also a nice pair of gloves in there I should be putting on, so maybe I'll do that as I start putting things back together to keep my hands clean and a little bit safe. I notice it's a little bit sharp on here, so be careful as you're working with that. And it appears that what we'll probably be doing is wrapping this around that pipe up there, and then trying to fish those bolts back in there. Be a little bit of a challenge, but nothing I can't handle. When you install the lower shield, the one marked with a blue, that's going to kind of wrap around behind and go into that little hole in the very back where that screw came out. Now, I'm not going to kid you. That's kind of a bear to get to, and you're going to work on it, maybe use a knuckle, maybe use a couple of different tools. Once it does take bite, boy, it feels really good, and you can kind of tighten it up a little bit. They recommend that you go finger tight. The next thing is we're going to get this upper shield, and it's going to fit in like this. So the screw's going to be in the back, and then once it's done, it'll wrap up on that top screw. We'll be removing these top screws and sinking them back in. Don't forget, you're going to want to put that fabric on there. Now, this is what it should look like. You should have that hole where the spring goes, and put that on. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this strap that comes, and we're going to locate this little hole here. And following the instructions, we're going to wrap this around. This is like a zip tie, but it's metal, and it's going to tie that down and secure it. They include a second strap for the upper pipe if you so desire. It's an optional install. When reinstalling the battery, you're going to want to put the bracket on first. Make sure that the pointed part is forward facing so it fits in the middle of the two posts, and that when you reinstall the batteries, you orient the negative, the black negative to the negative, and the red positive to the positive. I like to install the positive first. That way, if I bounce my wrench against anything on the negative, it's not a problem. Now with the heat shield, the battery, and the mud flap successfully installed, we should be ready for a little test drive. And you want to listen for any rattles or things and make any adjustments as needed, but she should be good to go. The next step, we'll go follow up that tech tip that was included with the kit and do a front pipe insulation, and that's another time. Well, good news, it seems to be running just fine, and the heat shields are in. We're expecting some snow today, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to tell whether it's changes the temperature or not. Maybe it'll protect that battery come summertime and definitely be a little cooler from what I read online. We hadn't experienced that problem because, like I said, we just bought this thing. Preventive, that's what I'm looking for. CFMoto, we'll see you on the trail.